mean, you say nerfed, but like she relatively the general consensus.
I said the most nerf. The most nerf in my team. No, not nerf in general.
Okay. Yeah, because the general consensus is that everybody thinks that she got away with murder. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that real quick.
Yeah.
Luigi, where do you think Kukri's best position is? Probably. I think he can be played anywhere. But I think probably anchor or mid. Because the thing is that having that meter for EX Time Castle is just really good.
Yeah.
Now, he still can be played point like I used to do. I still do it from time to time. But the thing is that if you want to capitalize the most out of his like gimmicks and stuff, I think anchor is probably his best position. Yeah, okay. EX filler is just too good. I'm surprised he didn't get nerfed.
Let's save it for when Kukri comes up. So let's start it off with Isla. Sorry, doing host things. Okay. Know?
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so the biggest nerf that Isla, or the biggest change that Isla got was this button, no?
Yes.
Now, obviously, this button before was really, really good. It was 6 frames. It's still 2 hits. Like, you can still confirm it into a combo, right?
Right.
But it's now 8 frames. That's the first thing. So now, whenever you're getting, someone is doing like the basic like hot pressure on you, now Isla's gonna have a harder time. I played yesterday and it doesn't feel like that heavy. Like, it's still a good anti-air. I still consider this a really good anti-air because of reasons played before. It also had like a reduced hitbox. So I imagine like before it used to reach like horizontally, like a little bit further.
Yeah.
It still has a decent range. So again, like I still think this is a good one, but I think it got like a well-deserved nerf. If you ask for my opinion.
You actually think this is well-deserved? It's more akin to what the actual hitbox looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that this was enough, but I think that speaking about this button specifically, I think this is good. I think this was a good change for Isla. A good change in terms of balance, I mean. Obviously, it's a nerf.
Oh, okay. So you don't think it affects her too much, it's just no more privilege?
Yeah, I don't think it affects her like that much, to be honest. Like, obviously, now you have to do these anti-airs a little bit more preemptively, especially if you're dealing with the classic hot pressure, right?
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be like the thing. Like, you probably need to do this preemptively a little bit more. But the thing is that because this is 2 hits, the ability that you can just confirm it if it hits, that in it of itself is already really good.
Yeah.
It also still has pretty good range. Like, sure, the hitbox was reduced, but I still, at least for me, I still feel like this is a decent anti-air. I don't think it's like as strong as Iori's, but it's still like a contender for a very like a high tier anti-air button.
Yeah. Okay. So going into the others. Yeah. Next, go on.
Yeah. So this projectile. This is another move that got changed. So first, now that has an expanded hitbox, so it has a bigger range, right? Yeah. It has wait, you just demonstrated a bit. It has more. If they reduce the recovery frames, so you can do that. Yeah, exactly that. And you can even hit it and do an OT. I think I have to test this because I found out that if it's like it's a hard knockdown. I don't know if she has time to do this. No, I think it has to be if the opponent chooses to not recover.
Right.
Like for example,
because she lost her hard knockdowns.
Yeah, I have to see like
the other one.
What way she can do it. Yeah, this is the one that she lost.
Yeah.
But before we go into that, like this move now is buffed. First, it has like bigger hitbox now. Now that they changed the location for where the projectile emerges, I think I might be wrong on this, but I think before it appeared a little bit higher.
Yes, I think it's actually lower. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. But the most important buff of this move is that now you have less recovery.
Right. Yes. Whoa.
So okay. You can see that. Yeah. Very OTGs. Huh. So now you can do that. Very cool change. I think this projectile was even before the patch was already good because it has such an active frames. Like it has such an amazing window for active frames.
Right.
And you have no idea how many people like catch off guard throwing this. Like they were just standing like from full screen here. They will see like the projectile landing from far away, and they'll just get hit because they don't expect it to be like so active.
Yeah, and I think does it work better as an anti-air as well? Like a cover all option, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. The thing is that usually if I want to anti-air, if I want to catch people jumping, I usually use this projectile because this one can be super cancelled, right?
Ah,
If
yes.
you jump, I can do this.
Okay, okay.
Right?
Okay.
Or you can go into the other super. Now the EX one you cannot.
Yeah.
Maybe this is better for like hop pressure. Yeah, you saw that.
Yes.
Maybe because because they changed from the location from where the projectile emerges.
Mm-hmm.
Now it can be better to catch people that are trying to like pressure Isla with the basic KOF hop pressure.
Okay, okay. I can see that definitely.
So other two nerfs that she got was the DP, right?
Yes.
So the first nerf, and this is the change that they made in both versions, which is now that the super cancel window is now less. Before you could do like you could input super like you still can from that, but you couldn't do it before. You can do it like way later.
Right.
Like even there you could have do it. Now you have to do it a little bit less, a little bit quicker. Like this, right?
Less time to confirm.
Yeah, so less time to confirm, and of course, yeah, it's basically that less time to confirm. And if you wanna do like DP into super, you actually have to commit, or you can react to it, but it's gonna be way harder now to react into a super. And this is a change that happened to both DPs.
You're right. The heavy
I believe,
and light.
yeah, I believe that the heavy one got an even bigger nerf. Because in terms of the super cancel window, but maybe that's just me. But
What about the
I think
altered opponent behavior on hit though?
Yeah, that's another thing that they changed on the heavy DP is that they altered the opponent behavior on the heavy. Yeah, on this one.
So what does it do? What have you found?
Now I haven't seen anything particular that like I don't know. For me, like it looks very very similar in hit. Maybe the opponent can recover a little bit quicker. Maybe that's the thing.
Maybe it's not so high.
Yeah, probably. Like maybe now that the opponent, like when both Isla and the opponent land, maybe now the opponent has a little bit a quicker time to recover. If you get what I mean. That's probably what they did. I don't think that affects it like that much, to be honest.
Okay.
Because the thing is that her neutral. I'm gonna get into why I think that she didn't get that big of a nerf.
Right.
But just to give a hint, I don't think that most of her valuable kit, except for maybe one move, got changed by that much. And another thing is that on block they reduced the hit stop on the DP, where on block and on hit, so you have an easier time to punish it.
Right.
Right. So the biggest nerf that she got, in my opinion, was this.
Yes.
So before she could do this into a hard knockdown, and then she go for her classic left-right mix-up game, right?
Right. The double.
Now,
your favorite double taco situation.
Yeah, my favorite. Yeah, I love to do this, right?
Yeah.
So before she could do it from close C,
yeah.
right, and just get a hard knockdown, and you have time to do a safe jump. You have time to do a mix up, the classic left right mix up with the tackle. But
right.
now the opponent is pushed away. They can quickly recover.
And this was the go-to. This was the go-to because of it recovered faster than the two front knockdown.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, and you could also use this as a fast overhead. You still can. Like you can do backdash into this, or you could have done the TK overhead. Yeah. But I think still the best overhead overall is this one, because overall it's just faster.
Instant overhead, yeah. I mean that's literally what it is.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. The EX version in the corners, it hasn't changed, which is even the better one because this one gives you a combo. Like if I put you in the corner, I do this, and I can do this, right?
Right.
If I get it right. Like you can still do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the biggest change because now she gets less Oki, and now she actually has to like spend resources to get a hard knockdown because now the way to get a hard knockdown is by doing her Tatsu. I mean, it's always been, but before you can also do this to get a hard knockdown.
Yeah.
Now she actually has to spend half a bar to get a hard knockdown, and now she can start the mix-up game, right?
Yeah, I mean, and also you don't have that instant overhead situation.
Yeah.
That goes into a hard knockdown.
Yeah, exactly. And the last change that he got, which is a little bit of a buff, which is now that this super in the air, now has a bigger hitbox.
Yeah.
And that is only in the if the opponent is in a hit state. So I'm guessing that what they're trying to do, because sometimes if you DDP into, sometimes it would whiff depending on the range. So I'm guessing that they made it like more consistent.
Yeah.
So that if you do DP and you do super, it doesn't whiff, right?
Yeah. This is a bunch of changes that other characters have gotten as well. Be like, exactly. Make it more consistent.
Yeah, I think B Jenny got a similar change. If I
for her million bullets, many bullets.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, in conclusion, like to summarize all of the changes, like obviously the biggest changes in my opinion were this nerf and the anti-air.
Okay.
Which there were. I'm not gonna say that they're not important. They, of course, they're important in her kit. But the thing is that her strengths as a character are still there, right?
Yeah.
Like she still has like her ridiculous CD. She still can do like the basic double jump to bait the wake up throw OS. She still has decent damage. She still has set play. And this change, which was added in the previous patch, which is I think by far the best change that she has ever gotten.
Okay.
She just needs to, of course, like if you go for lights, you now need to spend like more meter. Not for lights, for close C, and you don't want to spend any meter. You actually need to spend meter to get a hard knockdown.
Yeah, she just got like less privileged situations. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, like her overhead is not a hard knockdown anymore. So the mix-ups, like for example, if you can look for a second, like for example, this one, if you get hit by this, now it's not a hard knockdown. So and obviously, if you just do it raw, or if you just get hit and you just do this, it's now less of a reward for Isla. But the thing is that her neutral is still there, her set play is still there, her offense is still there. She just needs to work a little bit more for it, and she needs to spend a little bit more resources. But at least if you ask me, either she stays with the same strengths, but with maybe a little bit more competition. We'll see how the meta progresses in this patch.
Yeah.
But I don't think this will make her low tier or anything like that. I think there are characters that got nerfed way harder than Isla. Like for example, let's say Kyo maybe. But I don't think Isla got that big of a nerf. I think that this nerf and this other nerf was good in terms of balance, but I don't know. I couldn't say if this was enough to like actually balance her.
No, I think what they're trying to do. I think what they're trying to do, like last match, even though the top tiers, the easiest top tiers were basically Cronin and Janae, right?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But Kill was still a little bit of a skill check, you know? I think what they're trying to do in the end is trying to not let characters carry you as much from what I've seen in this match.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. I think with Isla, they actually made it like she has to work a little bit more to start her offense and her neutral with this. Basically, the DP nerfs are like, I mean, they're there, but and I might be disrespecting a few players. I don't think anyone was confirming a DP into super. I think they were just doing DP on the super on the fly. At least that's my case, right?
Okay.
But it did had like such an amazing window that you could easily confirm the DP to super, but I don't think that was it is that big of a nerf, at least if you ask me.
Of course.
The DP is still like relatively, well, it's not relatively low, it is low, but it is also needed for Isla because she's still a strong character.
So now who are we going into next?
So the one I'm gonna go into next is Kukri. This is gonna be quick because Kukri didn't get that many. He got 3 changes if I remember correctly. Right?
Let me just check. Yes, so, close standing heavy kick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the first change. So this one, it wasn't a cool buff, I guess. Like close D, is not used that much. The most amount of uses that I found for close D is that if you see his kick, like it jumps very high.
Yeah.
So what this does is that this helps him catch opponents jumping if they're really. Yeah, you saw that.
That's what I was thinking.
And now like when he's like that close, he won't get this, which is for D, right? Which is still a good one, at least if you ask me.
Let's see the distance.
Yeah, they nerfed is the distance. Is
Yeah,
like this.
no. Let's see how far the distance is for the activation.
It's like this. Yeah, I think before you have to be like this.
Ah, all right, okay.
But it's I think it's like a very negligible buff, but it is a cool change, I guess. But it's there
For a defensive character, I can definitely see it being this fun.
Especially because again, like the most usage that I've seen for this button is catching people jumping. Especially when he wants to like say like you're trying, I'm guessing between a strike or a throw, and I get this right, trying to guess that you go for a throw, and you're actually trying to shimmy me by jumping, but then because this button came out, you actually got anti-air. That's the thing.
Okay. Shatter Strike, reduce all recovery frames.
Yeah, so before, this is actually a cool buff that a lot of Kukri players were talking about.
Okay.
After Shatter Strike, he can only do this. And I'm not even kidding. Like, he couldn't do projectile, he couldn't do this, he couldn't do Tatsu. He could only do a normal after Shatter Strike. Everything else would have whiffed. Now... Oh, my bad. Now he can do light Tatsu into that. He can also do projectile, I think. Yeah, he can also do projectile. I guess you can do like some cool stuff here in the corner. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I think the most important thing is that he now can do projectile and he can do light Tatsu from Shatter Strike. I think most people are gonna do light Tatsu into maybe Psycho Crusher. To like instantly push opponents into the corner.
Right.
But now that is a really cool change because before he could only do this.
It's strange that that was the only because it matches all other characters because Shatter Strikes typically have the same frame data.
Yeah, that's the thing. But for Kukri, it wasn't for some reason, and that is why you very rarely see a Kukri doing a Shatter Strike. He could still do it. Like he did always have like good reward after an anti-air Shatter Strike.
Yeah.
But I think the combos for anti-air Shatter Strike are the same. But what changes is what his reward from counter hit. Yeah, from counter hit Shatter Strike on the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
And my favorite change of them all is this buff. So the reason, and if you saw me playing against Tenrai mostly like Tenrai or Quack or any other player, I would do something like this, and this would drop. I'm not even kidding. Like on the last hit, you see 2 hits, and then that last hit would have dropped.
Oh, okay.
So now, because they reduced the knockback distance of the second hit, now if you hit opponents, this will never drop. At least from what I've seen, this will never drop.
And what's the applications on hit that will give you benefits?
Basically, it just allows you to do this on max range against crouching opponents. Before you couldn't. Or even standing opponents. Like, the thing is that in some cases, if you hit this in max range, sometimes that last hit would have dropped. And you can get full combo punished.
Well, and I also guess because of how far it knocks back, plus, if you're playing Kukri as a zoner, it's kind of essential to his kit, huh?
Yeah, exactly, because let's say that like for example, I frustrated my opponents enough to throw projectiles. Now that I see him in game, I can catch him off guard by doing this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Okay.
So it helps him actually a lot. Especially if you play point Kukri, which is why I sometimes do. I mean, now I'm mixing between Isla and Kukri and point. But this was the thing that I asked for so long. Like I didn't even want the Shadow Strike buffs, to be honest. I mean, this is still cool. This is still very useful. Yeah. But the thing that frustrated me the most is that this will drop. Now this on hit, it won't drop.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the thing.
So now
overall,
you think it's more effective as like a push away character, and yes, okay.
Yes, even more because now because you have a bigger proximity now, you have a bigger chance to anti-air with close D. Although I don't see that, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. The grounded shadow strike buffs are gonna be huge, especially for corner carry. Maybe there's a lot more you can do after shadow strike. But for the moment, what I confirm is that you can do both projectile and light Tatsu after Shadow Strike, which is very, very nice, which helps him a lot in the defensive style. And the most important is that now he's even better in the mid range, especially if you play him on point, because of course if you do heavy Tatsu, that generally means that you don't want to do the EX Tatsu, right? But if you don't have meter or you just want to save it, you can do this.
Yeah, and a bit of meter build as well. 5 hits, nothing too shabby.
Yeah, exactly. Now this is very interesting in terms of like how the meta is gonna play, because this character got all buffs, and this was a character that was already strong.
Yeah.
So I actually think that Kukri is gonna stay as a strong character in this patch.
Okay.
Some people were hoping for the EX Sandcastle nerfs, but hey, I'm happy that I'm staying with my Sandcastles. I love my good.
No, I think those are definitely something that you earn. You know, this is not an easy thing to do with the Sandcastles.
Yeah, for sure. This is an honest anti-tier, you know.
Right. Okay. Are we going Shun yet, or do you have another character?
Yes, I'm going with my boy, which I think he's now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he's probably my new favorite character in the game. I think yesterday when I was playing him, he was so fun. Jeez. So unbelievably fun.
Well, so there's like what, seven changes so far.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it. Yeah, so important, like this character got all buffs,
right?
But I'm gonna name like I'm gonna explain every single one of them. But also obviously like I'm gonna explain why he's so more. I don't know how much stronger. I can't say how much stronger he is for sure. He's definitely stronger. I don't know how much, but but what I can say for sure is he's now way more fun to play, in my opinion. Okay. So first change, crouching AP now is 4 frames.
Right.
I love this change so much, because the fastest, I think the fastest, at least normal in the game normally are 4 frames, like, right?
Yes.
Like Leona, for example, I think Leona's crouch B is 4 frames. Now Shune's crouch LP is 4 frames, which helps him a lot in neutral, helps him a lot against opponents that want to mash after his CD or after his hop pressure, and of course helps him overall. It's always nice to have a 4 frame normal in this game.
It's the new Cronin 2A, which I said was one of the biggest problems that people overlook.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and it's interesting because now he can also convert into a command normal, but I'm not going to go over that yet. Not yet, right?
Okay.
So another buff that he got is that is jumping heavy kick, right?
Yeah.
So what they did is that they reduced the hurt box before the attack started. So if you were using Shune's jumping heavy kick, that would kind of extend your hard box, so that would allow opponents to have an easier time anti-airing you or air to airing you.
Right.
Now, at least before that's like just before the attack is coming out, right?
Yeah.
So I did that. Now they change it so that it doesn't expand his hard box as much. I don't think that's that big of a buff. At least I don't see it that big, because you know. If you're gonna get anti-aired, you get anti-aired. There were some wacky hitboxes where you were like going to get hit out of the air for no reason before this move even came out. But I think it's a cool buff, you know. I don't think it's that memorable though. Now, first, very, 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 very interesting change. So the cancel version of 6B, like this move by itself, it's the same, right? It's the
15
same.
frames.
But the cancel version
is 11 frames.
Now 11 frames,
right?
Which now allows him to do this combo. Before, if you do this, that would have not comboed. Now this combos.
Okay.
Yeah, which helps him do things like this. My bad.
Blop blop blop. Yeah.
So now, the thing is that I saw some people also talking about this. This can kind of hurt his frame trap game, but the thing is that I don't think so, because you still have a relatively big window to cancel this into 6. Right?
Okay, yeah, we just saw that.
That? Like I can do this,
Yeah.
like as quickly, or I can delay it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still the cancel window. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and you still have other options like the blue hand and stuff. So I don't think that his frame trap game is affected by that much. And now the good thing is that he can do stuff like this.
It's just not auto anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And now he gets well, I mean, he always got a safe jump after this, right? But now he can combo from his slide, which is not also 4 frames.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
So, like, it's this thing that is now 4 frames, and now this can combo, which already helps him a lot in his pressure. Helps him not that much as his pressure, I think, but especially for combos, for confirming, for going for damage. Yeah, just overall helps him a lot in his offense and poking game in mid range. Like also, like for example, let's say we're playing neutral and we're I just check you with this.
Yeah.
And like I'm autopiloting the 6B.
Yeah.
Now if you get randomly hit by this, then that will combo on if I go this into this. Now if that hits you, obviously I get a combo into this.
Yeah.
I can get an even bigger reward if I'm in the corner. But if you block that, like you just did, that's plus.
Yeah, double plus too.
Yeah. Like if you get hit, now I go into my hard knockdown. But if you block that, hold on for a second.
So basically, you can gamble 50% of your bar freely without having to worry about getting damaged.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very. I think it's very, very. That's like a very interesting change that they did to him.
Okay.
Now the second change, the other change, sorry, that they buffed is this overhead, which now again the raw, ground hammer, the raw version is still the same, right?
Yeah.
But the cancel version is actually faster now.
Yeah,
it
one
has,
minus.
No, not faster, sorry, but it's less
recovery.
It's less minus. Yeah, it's the recovery. So this would affect him. Like for example, if I do this frame trap. Now this is an even better frame trap because before, if I sometimes I'm gonna admit it, sometimes I did this.
Yeah.
Right? Because people would mash. Now I have an easier time doing that as a frame trap. I still you can kind of still doing it, but now he has an easier time doing like nothing after like close C into 6A into the dash punch.
Okay, so that means, yeah, just overall more frame trap things that you can do. You know, you can gamble 50% to just go and not get hit for it. That's
and now if you're going for close C instead of crouching A, now you get an even better time doing this frame trap.
So you alluded to this earlier.
Not only that, right? Not only this into dash punch, but also this, of course. So I can do things like this.
Yeah. So you were alluding to earlier about like maybe you play Kukri or Isla on point. So Shun is going to be looking like your actual anchor this time, huh?
It can be for every position, I think. Especially because obviously, if you do this. Like, you don't get that big of a reward. I mean, you can convert into super, but you can do this.
Oh, yeah, the safe jump. Yeah.
A 4-frame safe jump, yeah? So now, he has an even bigger, easier time playing as a point character, but there's an even bigger reason to pick him as a mid or even anchor character.
Yeah, as long as you have some resources.
So this is a change. I love this change. Even though a lot of people see it as like not that big, I love this change.
The air dash.
Now he can do this.
Yeah.
I love this.
I love silly.
This change.
Yeah.
So now he can cancel his EX thruster vision or his EX air dash into another one, right? And it can be another one of any version. Like I can do this into this one. I can do this into this one, into this one. Like I can be crazy with this. Now, obviously, like if this has to be from the EX, like you cannot cancel the normal version into another normal version, but you can cancel the EX into another one.
Yeah.
Now this helps him a lot, catching opponents by surprise, like confusing them in neutral and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I don't see them like that big of a use, except for as like a very gap closer, right?
Yeah.
Like look at where you are. Look at where am I. Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is like a very relatively fast got closer. But what's the biggest change that I've seen with this, right? The
What is
biggest
it?
change that I've seen by this is that, you know how whenever you get hard knockdown,
Yeah.
if I go for a jump, people normally from mid to high level KOF will wake up with the empty throw OS, because
Right.
if I go for an empty low, then the throw will beat it, right?
Yeah.
And if I go for pressure, you will be end up blocking. But now Shun can do this.
Oh.
So now he can do this, and he can do the EX air backdash, right? And when your button whiffs because you mash throw, he can go back and do this. Now, before Shun could bait opponents waking up with throw with Blau Wing, right?
Yeah.
That was like the option, but there was two problems with this. First, is that in some cases you will have to do Blau Wing like really high, for it to hit. So that would whiff. You saw that?
Yeah.
So I will have to do for that dash punch for this to hit.
Okay.
Now with this, not only I have an even easier time confirming it, right? Not even then, but I also get bigger damage.
Ah.
That's the thing. And before I can only do this.
Can you manual time the EX dash as well, so you can land like outside of you can land in shimmy range?
Yeah, you can do. I mean, if you mean like cancel the landing frames, the only thing I can do after the normal dash is this. It's
Yeah.
the blow hand, which
okay.
also helps him a lot when at least I think in playing neutral. Like I'm doing this, and let's say like for example, if you see me jumping like doing all that random stuff, a lot of people like to do like crouching B
Yeah.
to like catch me landing, right?
Yeah. Trip.
So this thing,
Mm.
you see,
Yeah.
that helps me a lot catching opponents that are trying to punish me landing, right? Because they cannot predict whenever I'm gonna be. That's the thing. But the biggest change that I think it's gonna affect Shun is baiting the throwers.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, and I tried this against Wivgar. It actually worked, and I actually think this is a very, very good tech that you can apply in any level of KOF. Because
think
because people
for-
love to throw whenever you're landing from a jumping.
Right.
People love to do it. Every
Yeah.
single person loves to do it, and why not? Because it's one frame. It's a good option, right? But now Shun has an even better reward trying to bait throws on wake up.
Okay. What about for example, like Maxima Super, the hyper beam. You know, in that kind of situation, you can double dash across.
Yeah, you can do
go
this,
across.
right?
Yeah. So I mean, they still have the DP option if they don't just throw out the super, but it's a lot more hesitation on their part without you even having to press any button.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. But yeah, that's like the best change that I think for even this is a good change, and this is also a very good change. But I don't know if this is the better change in terms of strength, maybe not.
Yeah.
But it is the better change in terms of fun, and that's what I like. This character now is so much more fun to play, and
Yeah.
I actually love what I did with Shun. I love Shun. And the last change that they did is that they expanded attack hitbox with this super, right?
Yeah.
Which helps him a little bit. I'm guessing that they did it to affect people that are trying to jump over it, but it's not that. I don't think that big of a deal. Like, still, you will only use this super if you're trying to either catch opponents off guard,
Or a big
which I don't think
confirm.
it's that. Yeah, or for the confirm. Which in that case, like, I don't think Shun had that big of a time confirming super into doing just this into this, right?
I mean, I've
but
definitely seen some people whiff, like, you know, they canceled it wrong and then they whiffed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that what I've seen with is this super.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it more times.
Yeah.
This I've definitely seen him with more times, but I think that super is gonna still be used for the same purposes.
What
But
about
it's
when
still a
you
cool
do,
buff, or
you know,
buff.
anti-air into that super?
Wait. Hold on.
Okay, I'll just
Has to
jump.
be,
I'll just
current,
jump. I'll just
yeah.
jump.
Yeah, of course, it has to be a counter hit.
Counter
so you have
hit,
to
yeah.
help, I think.
Okay, okay. Well, it's fine.
Yeah, but it's a cool buff overall.
Okay.
But overall, yeah, the biggest changes were this is now 4 frames. This now combos, and of course the EX air dash into air dash. I think that's the bigger changes. Now, in conclusion, in terms of strength, he's definitely too stronger. I think he's definitely a stronger character than before. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Now, by how much? I don't think he's gonna be like. Now he's gonna be like top tier or anything.
No,
but
no.
but I do think that like overall he's way more fun to play,
Okay.
especially because of this, and obviously because now his frame trap game is improved by a lot. So I think that Shun now has very viable ways to do frame trap pressure. I mean, he always technically could, but a lot of them were kind of risky and a little bit difficult to do, especially in high level KOF. Now he has an easier time doing the frame traps, now confirming into a combo, and now the best change is baiting people into doing something risky, like waking up with a grab, and he can just go in and out, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest use that you're gonna find to the air dash changes, which is
Basically,
going in and
they
out. Or you
enhance
can
the
go
way
in-
that he plays differently from other characters.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Especially
Okay.
because, you know, this is something that only Shun has. I mean, Isla has, like, the double jumps and stuff, but it's not exactly an air dash.
Yeah.
But now Shun can be way more unpredictable in neutral thanks to that change. And he has a way easier time to doing pressure and confirming into damage.
Okay. Thank you again, Luigi. This has been a great session. Very insightful, especially for characters like Shun and Kukri that not many people are delving into right now, but very good insights, very good lab work. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for having me. And
Why
I'm glad
don't
I could help you out.
Yeah, just share with the world. Where can we find you? What can you offer us?
Okay, so my name is at least in Twitch is Luigi FGC. This month I'm not streaming because my dad is visiting.
Okay.
But I'm planning to stream next month where I give coaching sessions, replay reviews and gameplays for fighting games, mostly KOF and I think MK1.
Okay.
And you can also check my YouTube, also Luigi FGC, where I do character guides and yeah, also educational content for fighting games. And my last video was a complete character overview of KOF 15, so if you're not sure which characters to pick for your team and you want to see a quick overview of all the characters, except for maybe Duo Long, but Duo Long I'm going to be doing it very soon.
Right.
You can check that video and you'll have almost all the characters in the game, and you'll have reasons as to why you should pick them or why you should not.
Okay, wonderful. I will have all these links down in the description below. Thank you again so much, Luigi. Take care.
No problem, take care.